creating solid foundations for ourselves instead of rushing to an imaginary finish line. So all of us, first 5 months of this year, just focus on like rooting into what really matters, creating foundations, finding balance, and the rest will come. There's no need to rush. You can use the 3 Mercury retrogrades. So in Aries from April 1st to April 25th, in Virgo from August 6th to August 28th, so Virgo and Leo. And then in Sagittarius from November 25th to December 15th. To clear clutter from your life. Clear the clutter from your life. To review contracts, to review appointments, engagements, things you already made, to address miscommunications in relationships, and to assess your own imperfections. Just taking like a solid inventory of what you want and how you can improve. Luckily, the eclipses this year are going to feel lighter than the ones we experienced in 2023 because the majority of them occur or will occur on the Aries Libra axis, and that aligns with the current nodal axis. So we'll be able to learn those eclipse lessons with greater ease, more speed, and less resistance. There are going to be retrogrades of other planets like Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto in the middle of the year, and so there might be periods in which we are second-guessing our decisions, particularly as a collective. But the big one is going to be Mars, the retrograde of Mars in Leo. That starts December 5th. That's really going to highlight how living in excess, keeping up with the Joneses and all that almost always leaves us feeling unfulfilled. So we'll end the year by aligning our intentions and actions with our core values, and maybe even starting from scratch, redefining our core values and really making sure our actions are in alignment with the desires of our highest selves. So that's 2024 in a nutshell for you. Now I'm going to go through each of the signs. I recommend looking or listening to your horoscope for both your sun sign and your rising sign. If you don't know what that means, your sun is the sign that you probably know. It's just based on your birthday. And then your rising sign you can easily figure out by doing your birth chart or natal chart. There's a lot of places online. You just pop in some data like your birth date, time, and location for the longitude and latitude, and you can find out all manner of stuff about your sign. And that's how you would find your rising sign if you don't already know it. Okay, Aries. The intentions you set during the total solar eclipse new moon in your sign on April 8th will set the scene for the next 6 months to come. Get serious about what you're here to create, Aries, because you're going to have Chiron, the asteroid, which represents your inner wounds, in your sign until 2026, which means you will have tremendous potential to thrive from even the most unlikely of places. Mercury's retrograde in your sign from April 1st to 25th will help you deconstruct your ego and get more deeply acquainted with your spirit. but I find moments like that usually change us for the better. Next is Taurus. What do you really want, Taurus? And are you ready to receive what you say you really want? Give yourself time to figure this out this year, particularly during Jupiter's remaining transit through your sign up until May 25th. When combined with Uranus's shift direct in Taurus on January 27th, you'll start off the year with a great awareness of the unknown, while also learning to have faith in the unknown. Pluto, the planet of transformation, will be in Aquarius for most of the year, and that Aquarius energy will create astrological friction with your Taurus nature. Around this time, you might notice that people start acting differently, and your career trajectory may also go through a destabilizing phase. The key is to get curious about what the universe is trying to teach you instead of assuming that the universe is trying to punish you. It's most likely around the end of Jupiter's transit in your sign that you'll gain greater clarity regarding where you're meant to invest your energy, resources, talents, and attention, and also clarity about why. You may also receive a major award around this time. Once Jupiter enters Gemini on May 25th, the focus shifts to your money sector for the next 13 months. You'll find yourself being more innovative and daring when it comes to how you invest your finances, and you'll be advised to diversify your income streams. Your best periods for social interaction will be when Venus enters your sign from April 29th to May 23rd, and also during Scorpio season in the fourth quarter of the year, because that's the time when your partnership sector will be activated, and so you're going to feel passionate, magnetic, and loving, and it's going to be a brilliant way to end 2024. Then we have Gemini. Gemini, you've been preparing for the magic of this year without even knowing it. Jupiter, which is the planet of expansion, is going to spend the first 5 months of 2024 in the sign of Taurus, rounding out its stay in your sector of spirituality, healing, and closure. Then, on May 25th, Jupiter is going to enter your sign, where it's going to remain for the next 13 months, which will make this like a super lucky time, probably the luckiest time you've had over the past 12 years. Yeah, 12 years. So the decisions you make during Jupiter's transit through your sign are going to guide your journey for the next 12 years to come. Choose wisely, but also don't worry, don't overthink it. The more you trust yourself, the more life will trust you. So lead with self-trust. There's no need to feel pressure about this exciting transit. Just focus on cultivating presence and patience with yourself and others this year. Having Pluto in your fellow air sign of Aquarius for most of this year will increase your desire to expand, experiment, travel, and more. This energy is very, hard to grasp, and it might feel a little overstimulating. So to avoid getting distracted, spend time with people with earth and water placements in their chart, because they will help you feel peaceful. Your annual new moon is going to occur on June 9th, just a few weeks into Jupiter's entrance into your sign. This is the most potent lunation of the year for you, so you can take a leap of faith or completely alter your life journey at that time. You're likely to want to take off in more may cultivate some of the strongest friendships you've had in years with Jupiter and Taurus, but you also might have a volatile period where you have to let go of frenemies, and this will probably happen once Uranus shifts direct in Taurus on January 27th, and the 7 months that come after that. During this time, it may feel like finally an element of your social life stabilizes, only to have something else catch you off guard. So it's important not to get super worked up and not to lose your cool. It will eventually even itself out. This may be easier said than done, particularly during eclipse season in March and April, and again in September and October. Since you're ruled by the moon, you can find yourself easily influenced by supercharged lunations like eclipses. They can make you feel like you don't have solid footing, and that's why at this time you should lean on the power of community, particularly once Jupiter enters Gemini for 13 months, starting on May 25th. Pluto, the planet of transformation, has been working behind the scenes to help you create generational wealth. Who doesn't want that? And this year, Pluto is going to spend most of its time in Aquarius, which is a revolutionary sign. So you may feel a little out of your comfort zone more often than not, but it's going to push you out of complacency, and you will succeed this year within that, as long as you take care to stay close to people who help you soar. Then we have Leo, you're starting off the year in a no-nonsense type of mood, largely due to Mars's presence in Capricorn for 6 weeks, starting January 4th. Mars in Capricorn stimulates your sector of depth, merging, and outside resources, so you're going to be in the mood to connect with people who can take your life to the next level, and vice versa. Just make sure you're not letting your ego or your pride run the show during the first quarter of the year, especially not once Pluto enters Aquarius on January 20th, stimulating major changes in your partnership sector. People may tell you you've changed, and you might be changing more rapidly than they're used to. It is not your responsibility to accommodate their insecurities. What you can do is be transparent about what your updated or new values or priorities are and why. Since you're ruled by the sun, you'll feel most activated during this year's 2 solar eclipses. The first one is a total solar eclipse in April. The second is in October. People are going to want to hear what you have to say, and you're going to come off as even more alluring, magnetic, confident, and charming than usual. By the end of the year, you may start to notice that there's a delay in your personal endeavors, or that you're experiencing cosmic, rerouting, and that's going to be because Mars, the planet of action, is retrograding, or will retrograde in your sign on December 6th. So your momentum will slow down a bit, but that's still a good thing because it will help you make sure that you're not taking on too much, and it will encourage you to streamline your priorities by focusing on doing less with greater intention. Then we have Virgo. Virgo, this year is about reimagining possibilities for yourself challenge, or you may decide you want to let yourself create simply for the sake of creating instead of always trying to monetize your gifts. Allow yourself to view life with a beginner's eye. The Pisces full moon lunar eclipse on September 17th is during your birthday season. It could lead to a dramatic ending or period of closure in your most intimate relationships, friendships, and work partnerships. This period of time will have you feeling more vulnerable and sensitive than you're used to, so just make sure to give yourself plenty of time to nurture yourself and also stay close to people who make you feel emotionally safe. Then it's Libra. Libra, the South Node, which is a symbol of our karmic past, is going to spend its first full year in your sign, so your healing journey is more potent than usual. The first quarter of this year is about getting comfortable, being uncomfortable. You're going to notice that a lot of your inner world is changing. Maybe you're going to shed some outdated thoughts and belief systems. Because of this, you may want to isolate yourself from January through March or minimize the amount of social interactions you encounter. You may feel spiritually renewed around April 29th when Venus, your planetary ruler, enters its home sign of Taurus. You'll be focused on enjoying life's simple pleasures and expressing gratitude for the abundance that already exists in your life. Then, on May 25th, Jupiter, which is the planet of luck, expansion, abundance, will enter your fellow air sign of Gemini for the next 13 months. Keep an eye out for dramatic shifts in your life during both eclipse seasons this year. There's going to be a lunar eclipse in your sign on March 25th and a solar eclipse in Libra on October 2nd. Of all the zodiac signs, you're the one whose life is most rapidly transforming, which means you may need to let go of certain people and circumstances that are no longer serving you as you step into a new chapter. So lots of change, but it will all come to greater good. Alright, Scorpio. Scorpio, this is the first year in the past 3 years where you're not experiencing an eclipse in your sign, and when the South Node isn't in your sign either. So the universe is finally cutting you a bit of slack when it comes to all the trials, tests, and tribulations you've had to endure so far this decade. 2024 will still challenge you in new ways, but now you are prepared for these plot twists. Pluto, your planetary ruler, is going to re-enter Aquarius on January 20th and remain there for the majority of the year, and also for the next 20 years, ultimately. Since Aquarius is a fellow fixed sign that creates astrological friction with your Scorpio nature, you're likely to feel greater momentum and a sense of urgency as you move through this year. Pluto doesn't want you to get too comfortable or too complacent when it comes to making your dreams come true, so you're going to feel like there's more for you to do. At the same time, Jupiter, the planet of luck, remains in your opposite sign of Taurus until May 25th, encouraging you to lean into your partnerships for spiritual and emotional support. It's also really important that you avoid rushing to the finish line. Instead, look for balance and try to express your gratitude to the people who have always seen and supported you. Once Jupiter enters Gemini on May 25th, it will stay there for 13 months, activating your sector of depth, merging, and outside resources. So you're going to be in a prime position to ask for funding, investments, scholarships, loans, to pay off loans, to marry into wealth, whatever. Don't let this That's because your planetary ruler, Jupiter, is going to spend the first 5 months of the year in Taurus, activating your sector of wellness and routine. Jupiter's stay in Taurus has helped you identify what matters most to you and why, and it's also helped you check yourself whenever you are leaning toward overintelligence or excess in different areas of your life. So if you want to commit to a new routine, pare things down, do your best to make it happen while Jupiter is still in Taurus, because you will plant seeds for healthier choices that will keep giving back to you for the next 12 months to come. On May 25th, Jupiter will shift into Gemini for 13 months, activating your sector of relationships and marriage. This will be one of your luckiest periods for attracting your soulmates or deepening bonds you already have. That said, it's also important for you to continue to practice healthy detachment during this transit, because Gemini is known for craving freedom, just like you. So you'll attract partners who understand you, but who are unpredictable too, similar to you. The second eclipse season of this year occurs on September 17th, with a lunar eclipse in Pisces, followed by a solar eclipse in Libra on October 2nd. These eclipses highlight your domestic sector and your social sector, indicating that these are the two areas of your life that will undergo the most changes in the fourth quarter of the year. By the time your birthday season comes around, you may have a completely new definition of what home and friendship mean to you. And new definitions are usually a good thing. Then we have Capricorn, fellow Cap here. I feel like I have to say that, full disclosure. Capricorn, you start off 2024 feeling strong, motivated, disciplined, and ambitious. Not only is it your birthday season, but Mars, the planet of action, enters your sign on January 4th and remains there for 6 weeks. Use the Capricorn new moon on January 11th to set your intentions for the next 6 months to come. This is one of the most potent lunations for manifesting this year, because Pluto, the planet of transformation, will be in your sign until January 20th. So the combination of having the Sun, Mars, Pluto all in your sign at the start of the year means that you should prioritize starting new initiatives in the first quarter of 2024, really biting off just as much as you want to chew and going for it. Jupiter's continued transit through your fellow Earth sign of Taurus will also ensure that you don't cut any corners. Once Jupiter shifts into Gemini on May 25th and remains there for 13 months, you'll find yourself being more open-minded and adaptable. The second half of the year will have you focused more on letting love in, having more fun, and making more money. All good things. Pluto will briefly re-enter your sign one final time in our lifetime from September 1st to November 19th, making that period of 3 months another auspicious time for you. You might view it as a sort of coming of age moment where most of the spirit of flexibility during your periods of revolution, particularly when Jupiter, which is the largest planet in our solar system, is spending time in your fellow fixed sign of Taurus up until May 25th. Jupiter's entrance into Gemini on May 25th will help you access a more lighthearted way of being, help you flow through life, and because of this, the middle part of the year is going to be one of the most invigorating and productive months you've experienced this decade. Mars, when it retrogrades in Leo on December 6th, it might shake up your relationship dynamics as the year comes to an end. Instead of acting like you don't care or acting like you're unbothered, lean into the discomfort of disappointment or disillusionment, and if it's worth fighting for, make sure that you rise to the occasion and try to put in the work to resolve the issue. If it's not worth fighting for, on the other hand, do your best to feel your feelings, lean into the discomfort, as I said. Either way, you're sure to learn something important, something that will make you better and stronger going forward. Finally, we have sweet, sweet Pisces. Pisces, Saturn remains in your sign for yet another year, but you're already starting to feel more sure of yourself and less apprehensive about the planet of challenge visiting your sign. As the year begins, Mars's presence in Capricorn is going to activate your sector of friendship and social networks, allowing you to weed out frenemies and instead celebrate and attract people who genuinely love and support you. I don't know who wouldn't want that. Your birthday season will feel magically ethereal, and then you're going to come even more alive when the astrological new year begins on March 19th, followed by Mars's entrance into your sign on March 22nd, making it a prime time to dream, create, make love, make art, let your intuitive awareness lead the way, all the things that you are so good at. You'll be more magnetic during this transit, which will lead to more eyes on you. So just focus on the quality of the people you attract rather than the quantity, and don't be afraid to set necessary boundaries if you don't want certain energies around you. Jupiter, one of your planetary rulers, remains in Taurus until May 25th, highlighting your sector of communication and creativity. You have a great chance of being recognized or celebrated for your artistic talents during the first 5 months of the year. And then once Jupiter shifts into Gemini on May 25th for a 13-month stay, you will notice that your attention shifts to your home and family, and kind of opens up a feeling of freedom and flexibility in that area of your life. On September 17th, a powerful lunar eclipse in your sign is going to transform your life as you know it. Eclipses can't be specifically predicted because they are known for revealing what was once hidden. But this eclipse will be connected to the intentions you set on March 10th of this year during your annual Pisces new moon. So while that might sound scary, it's really not. It's going to help you level up by first removing everything that's hindering your growth, no matter how accustomed you might be to it. And if you just let the eclipse shed light on your life, then in the last quarter of the year, you will truly, truly soar. And that concludes our horoscopes for 2024. I hope you enjoyed hearing yours. I know I enjoyed hearing mine, and I love this time of year, not because of the pressure of setting goals and intentions, but because of the opportunity it allows us to zoom out and really take stock of life and imagine new paths for becoming joy